as an employee, it's the quality of your work that should matter most, but your appearance is also something that leaves a lasting impression and could affect how you are viewed by others. Joining me now to talk about this is Holly Wilbanks of the Wilbanks Consulting Group and Duquesne law professor Ann Marie Schiavone. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And you know, we talk about appearance often. We want to put our best foot forward, but there was really something that sparked this discussion for us. There was an article in the New York Post recently about a public figure who was fired because of her dress size and the way that she was dressing and because of her curly hair.
Yeah, I happened to see this article, Heather. And it was really interesting because when I read it, I looked at her social media, I read through the article, and then I tried to find some sort of response from her employer, and I didn't see one. So I'm not really sure where things stand, and Ann may be able to fill us in on that a little bit more.
I didn't see anything either. You know, she made some accusations and alleged some wrongdoing of the employer, but there was no response from the employer, and really we only have that social media Twitter post, I believe, from the employee.
So how do you handle things like that? Because some of these discussions are happening internally, or it could be a way that you feel, and I don't know where feelings stand as far as legality, but you know, if you're being made to feel like your appearance isn't up to par or isn't up to their standards, what do you do with that?
So employers do have the ability under the law to require dress codes or uniforms, which can include grooming, hairstyles and so forth. And usually the law has allowed that, especially if they determine that there's a business reason for it. Mm-hmm. So now, in some ways that's changing. At the federal level, there really isn't a federal law, but there are some states that have started to provide for more laws that protect people, protect people's ability to wear their hair in certain ways, et cetera.
And I was even going to say, like, for people of color, for women, there are certain things that should protect us and protect against discrimination.
Yes, and if it's absolutely gender or race based, then the discrimination laws should protect you. Yeah. Do they always? Maybe, maybe not. But you know, again, states are starting to think about this in a little bit more robust way.
And Holly, I know that you work with a lot of different clients and getting them placed into positions and working with them on getting these jobs. And so do you have conversations with them about how they present themselves or what they should expect?
Absolutely. So a lot of times we encourage them to check out the employer in advance, see maybe from pictures on the website, things like that, what they should expect in terms of what they might want to wear to an interview. You can always ask a recruiter or a hiring manager, what would be appropriate to wear to this interview? I'm used to wearing this, is that appropriate? And then of course, even in the interview process, you can ask the hiring manager or the recruiter, you know, hey, I have a tattoo here on my wrist. I can see by your uniforms that you ask employees to wear that this might be hard to hide. What is your policy on visible tattoos in the workplace? Right. Or whatever your personal situation might be. But having that conversation, not only during the interview process, but when you start, knowing the policies that are in place and making sure any conversations that you have with your supervisor or anyone else, that you put them in writing after. You can do it in a really nice way too. You don't have to be hostile about it. All you have to say is, thanks so much for answering my question about my tattoo on my wrist. It is my understanding that it's not going to be a problem for it to show. I really appreciate the clarification. Right. And that way, if you happen to get something wrong that they said, or they said something wrong, they have the opportunity to respond to you in writing as well. Mm-hmm.
And Ann Marie, you touched on this just a little bit, but are you guys finding that some rules are relaxing a little bit or changing a little bit? Tattoos have become so much more accepted, and I think so many more people have them. So do we think that they're getting a little bit more lax?
Post-pandemic, we're seeing a definite shift. So really the pandemic probably kicked off the significant shift that we're seeing, but a lot of employers are really relaxing a lot of their policies. And again, this has to do with remote work, it has to do with hybrid work, but it also has to do with things like recruiting new employees and employee retention. They're trying to be more competitive. And then there's the angle of inclusivity. Expecting somebody to have a brand new outfit every day for work is probably not realistic. So some of the policies are changing because of that.
All right, so real talk, you know, this New York Post article, one of the main complaints was curly hair. And Holly, you have your hair curly today. It looks beautiful, by the way. But I mean, can we just talk about your curly hair is what makes you you, you know, and we have you here, sometimes you wear it straight with just a light curl there, as we've seen in previous times you've been on the show. But I mean, we're in this phase, I think, this chapter of body acceptance and accepting who we are. If you are a curly-headed woman, why can't we accept that, you know?
You know, it's really interesting. Curly hair in particular has a bit of a bias to it. And I've personally experienced that bias. I often wear my hair straight only because of logistics. I can wear my straight hair different ways for up to 4 days and not have to wash it in between. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
Whereas my curly hair, I might end up looking like a lost boy from Peter Pan in a couple of days if I don't tame it the right way, right?
Right.
So we all have different reasons for doing what we do with our hair. And I think workplaces should really consider what that means to different employees and how we can create flexible and inclusive workplaces that allow our employees to really be who they are, whatever that means to them.
And Ann Marie, from a legal standpoint, if someone is experiencing something like this, what should they do if they think that there may be something wrong that's happening?
So the first thing I would do is consult the employee handbook or the policies and procedures of your employer to see, you know, are there, you know, what are the policies in place, and are you being targeted? If you're being targeted, then that's probably illegal.
Right.
And you know, you may want to approach. You can always seek outside counsel, but you can also talk to your supervisor first and find out, hey, I think this is, you know, inappropriate. What can we do? And go forward. And opening the lines of communication, as Holly mentioned earlier, and keeping those lines of communication open is always a good way of handling these things.
And
at least to start.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you both so much for coming in today and having this important discussion. Really appreciate it.